Welcome Ramley, how are my Rams super fans doing today? The Rams are currently 3-0 heading into week 4. And we have the battle of the unbeatens as the Arizona Cardinals travel down to Los Angeles to battle for first place in the NFC West. Let's get right into it. Now let's start off by talking about the injury report. Now for the Rams, linebacker Justin Hollins will be out this week with a pectoral injury that he suffered last week against the Bucks. Also, running back Darrell Henderson remains questionable with a rib injury. Now for the Cardinals, tackle Kelvin Beachum missed week 3 against Jacksonville with a rib injury, and he remains questionable against the Rams in week 4. Also, offensive lineman Justin Pugh and Justin Murray both remain uncertain to play against the Rams as they both suffered back injuries in week 3 against Jacksonville. Now, what am I looking forward to seeing this week? I'm looking forward to seeing Aaron Donald play against a beat-up offensive line. Now, if Beachum, Murray, and Pugh are all indeed out in week 4 against the Rams, then you could expect Aaron Donald chasing around Kyler Murray all game long. I would also like to see how Sony Michel reacts to getting the bulk of carries against a team not named the Bucks. I really hope Henderson is back, but I am looking forward to seeing how Sony Michel plays when he's getting the bulk of the carries against a team that doesn't have the best run stoppers in the league like the Bucks team we played last week. And before we get into matchups, guys, if you could just like this video and subscribe to this channel so you never miss an update, I'd really appreciate that. Also, if you could go follow us on Twitter and Instagram, that would be great too. Now let's talk the passing attack versus the passing defense. Now, until further notice, I'm just gonna go ahead and assume Matthew Stafford's gonna have his way with any secondary he plays against. He is on fire right now. He's averaging 314 passing yards per game and 10 passing yards per attempt, and a passer rating of 129.8. He also has thrown for 9 touchdowns, and the only blemish on his resume this season comes from a tip pass interception, something that wasn't even his fault. Stafford also has 12 plays over 20 yards and a league-leading 6 plays over 40 yards. He is constantly airing the ball out. And if you remember the Rams last year, that was something we just couldn't do. This has been a major plus in our offense. The Cardinals just simply don't have the talent on defense to slow this passing attack down. Now on the flip side, the Cardinals passing attack has been really good all year round. And quarterback Kyler Murray seems to improve every single year he's in the NFL. And he's already over 1,000 yards passing in just 3 games. But the Rams secondary is probably the best secondary he's played thus far this year. And even though I don't expect Jalen Ramsey and company to shut him down, I do expect them to be slowed down just a bit. Now let's talk the rushing attack versus the rushing defense. Now this is the game where I expect Darrell Henderson, if he plays, and Sony Michel to get it together and put up some promising numbers. The Cardinals have been giving up an average of 140 yards rushing per game and 5.4 yards per carry. They just gave up 159 yards on the ground to the Jaguars. Now if our running game doesn't shine here, we might just be faced with the reality that our running game just isn't going to shine this season. We'll see how it goes. Now on the other side of the ball, the Cardinals seem to have a running back by committee thing going here with Chase Edmonds and James Conner. Now both of these running backs are mediocre at best. Now outside of Kyler Murray getting loose, I'm not really concerned about this Arizona running game much. Now through 3 games, the Arizona Cardinals running backs have played pretty decent, but I think decent is their ceiling. And I just truly don't believe they have the ability to affect the outcome of this game, especially with the injuries along that offensive line. Now let's talk individual matchups. Now the matchup that I'm most excited about, which I'm sure everyone is excited about, is Nuke versus Ramsey. When the Rams spent 2 first-round picks to acquire Jalen Ramsey, the first thing I thought of was, man, we're gonna get Ramsey versus DeAndre Hopkins twice a year? Now over the past year or two, Jalen Ramsey has completely owned this matchup. But now, with Jalen Ramsey moving around the field a lot more and not just being stuck to one receiver, I'm really interested to see how they play him this year. Will Jalen Ramsey continue to move around and play in the slot and play on the left and play on the right, or will he stick with DeAndre Hopkins this whole game to kind of shut him down? This is the first time this season that Jalen Ramsey really played against an elite #1 wide receiver. I mean, he played against Allen Robinson, but come on, Allen Robinson and DeAndre Hopkins are on 2 completely different tiers. So I'm curious to see if the coaching staff have a different plan for Ramsey this game. I'm not really expecting anything to change, but I'm definitely going to keep my eye on that. And before we get into my prediction, if you guys could please just like this video. Also hit subscribe and click that bell notification button so you'll be notified anytime a new upload happens. And if you could go follow me on Instagram and follow me on Twitter, I'd really appreciate that, guys. Now let's get right back into it with my prediction. Now Kyler Murray is showing that he's ready to take that next jump in his career and become an elite quarterback. Unfortunately, I don't believe the Cardinals defense is ready to make that jump with him. Murray may cause a few problems for the Rams defense, but ultimately that lackluster defense of the Cardinals is not going to be able to slow down the hottest quarterback in the NFL. And when you add the fact that Sean McVay has completely owned the Arizona Cardinals since taking over as the head coach of the LA Rams, I don't think anything is going to change come this Sunday. I expect the Rams to keep rolling, 31-17. Be on the lookout for my recap of the Rams and Cardinals shortly after Sunday's game. Thank you guys for watching. If you're interested in more Rams content, make sure to click this video right here.